Hello, my name is Iman Thompson. I am filming the introduction for my Lamar University observation video. I chose, well, first of all, I will be graduating hopefully in May 2016, and this video is a requirement. So I chose observing video option number 3. And with that, I was supposed to observe a teacher facilitating the use of technology in the classroom to actively engage students in learning. And the different examples of that will be maybe a teacher using an interactive whiteboard or using the internet to interact with an expert in the field, or using classroom response systems for formative assessment, or using gaming and online simulations. Okay, so basically I had to observe a teacher using technology. I chose to do this with 2 classrooms. I observed 2 different teachers. And basically I observed in a summer school class. These were 2 classes of students. It was about 10 students in each class. And they had basically failed the STAR test 2 times. And so this summer school initiative was set up to get them to pass their 3rd attempt, or to get them practice and the use of their strategies. So both classrooms are of students who were on their 3rd attempt, and they are trying to go to 6th grade. In the first classroom, I observed the teacher using technology in the form of her projector and a document camera. So I'm just curious as to see how she exactly incorporated the use of the document camera to help her students who are on their 3rd attempt of the STAR test. The second classroom I went into, they're supposed to be doing the same thing. So I'm just curious as to how the second teacher used technology as well. I hope to see full integration of technology. I was looking at this rubric that was at the back of the practicum log, and it says the technology integration metrics, the table of the instructional setting descriptors. And so I decided that I will use that as a resource and also as a guide to see where both classrooms fail on this matrix, or this metrics. I'm hoping that they will fall under transformation for all of the characteristics of the learning environment. From an administrative standpoint, that's what I will hope to see anyways, the full integration of technology. But again, it is summer school, and really the teachers are just trying to get the students to pass the STAR test on their 3rd attempt. So we'll see how they incorporated technology.
Show you how you will, I'm going to model to you how you're supposed to use your strategies with these types of test questions, okay? So let's start with summary. Which of the following is the best summary of the article? Okay, so you've read the article, you've annotated the article. Now you have to go back and find your information to verify your correct answer. Okay, mine is, okay, so it says A, when building a log cabin, make sure to find a good site. Then find trees for straight and sturdy logs. Put the logs together by cutting notches on each end of the log. This will help them fit securely or more closely together. A pitched roof requires nails, but it lasts longer than a flat roof and can be covered with leaves and bark. You have to say to yourself, is that a best summary of the whole selection? So we know that summary is beginning, middle, end. So when we go back to the text, we're looking to see if this sentence is a sentence from the beginning, it's the main point from the beginning. If the next couple of sentences would be the main point from the middle. And if the last couple of sentences would be the main points from the end. So that's what you're looking for. So I'm looking at the text, going back to the text, and I see that the beginning of the text is about how the ideal home was the stone castles from England and Scotland. But most people could only afford log cabins. Okay, so that doesn't go with this first sentence, when building a log cabin, make sure to find a good site. No, I don't find that until much later in the paragraph, in the text right here. Okay? Right here it says, to build their cabins, early Americans first needed to select a good site. So this is the middle. It's starting with the middle, and we know it suddenly has to be beginning, middle, end in order. This is incorrect. That will not be a choice. Okay, so I'm looking for something at the beginning. Many early Americans lived in log cabins. George Washington tried to make his home look like stone by using special paint. Okay, so the first paragraph is not really about that. Let's look at the next one. Log cabins were the basic homes of early Americans. They were built in frontier areas using only an axe. To build a log cabin, find a good site, cut the wood, fit the logs together using notches. Flat and pitched roofs both work. Over time, log cabins became a symbol of the common man. Okay, so here, they give me the main idea from the first paragraph that what? Log cabins were the basic homes of most Americans. Right here it says, for many, the only option was a log cabin. Okay? They couldn't have the castles, but they could have a log cabin. Then it says, to build a log cabin, find a good site, cut the wood, fit the logs together. All this middle part is about finding the site, finding the perfect type of wood that's very straight, and then fitting them together using the notches. That's all the middle. Okay? It's also about the flat roofs, all in the middle. Then I get to the end of the text, and the end of the text talks about how the log cabin over time became a symbol of the common man. Okay? That's the very end, the symbols right here, the end of the text. And that's the main point of the end. And I have it here, symbol of, where's common man? Right here, common man. So I know that this will be my summary. Okay? Now, your turn. You all are going to have one question to show your strategy on. Let me have Kishana start. You're number 23. Talk to us about your strategy. How did you find your answer? Here we go, just a little bit. Good.
What does Sarah probably have trouble making friends? And paragraph 1, and it's like, read it?
Okay. Yes, please read.
Ever since her family had
Arrived
from the United States from Mexico, she had been trying to fit in, but have had out how to make friends.
Okay, so, let's look at your other choices. Okay, she feels uninterested in the neighborhood kids.
No.
First, okay, doesn't talk about that. She is extremely shy and afraid to introduce herself. Or she does not speak English and has trouble communicating. Okay, she does not speak English and she has trouble communicating. She does speak English. Okay, so the problem is she is what? The text says in the first paragraph she's new to America, and because of that she has troubles fitting in. Okay, so show me your sentence from the first paragraph again. Circle your pretty sentence. Okay, it says, please read it.
Ever since her family had arrived in the United States from Mexico, she had been trying to fit in how to make friends.
Okay, she's been trying to figure out how to make friends. Okay, so that's proof that that's her problem. She's new to America, and she's just trying to figure out how to fit in and make friends. Okay. Martin.
The answer is C.
Answer is C.
Great job.
word puttering means.
Okay, so what is your strategy? What did you do to find your answer?
Go to paragraph 3 and I wrote, before Sarita reached the park, she spotted Mr. Pacheco puttering in his garden.
Okay, so you took the sentence with the word puttering and you wrote it there so that you can refer to it. Okay, so now, after that point, what do you do with your answer choices? What was your strategy?
Read them.
To read them, and then do what else? Did you, what did you do with, did you substitute? Did you look for definitions, synonyms? What did you do to figure out what puttering means?
Come back to the paragraph.
Okay, show us exactly how you did it.
It said, before Sarita reached the park, she spotted Mr. Pacheco puttering in his garden. Her family had met him shortly after they had moved into their new home.
Okay. So now, show us, go through your examples and show us how you come up with your answer.
F, painting, G, chatting, H, sleeping, or J, working.
Okay.
It said J, working, because in paragraph 4, it says, Sarita, it's good you are here. I think I've been in the sun too long without a hat. I feel a little dizzy. Can you help me to the porch?
Okay, so you're kind of using context clues. Okay, so you're saying that, you know, if he's out there in the garden and it's really hot, he must have probably been working rather than whatever the other choices are, fainting or anything else. Good job. Okay, next.
Read the sentence from paragraph 3 of the selection.
Sarita.
Sarita was eager to get to the park, but she knew that Mr. Pacheco was lonely. This sentence shows that Sarita is a selfish, be bored, C,
Athletic.
athletic, be calm. I found my answer in paragraph 3, line 4.
Okay. Sarita.
Sarita is good. You are here. I think I've been in the sun too long without a hat. I feel a little dizzy. Can you help me to the porch?
Okay, so in paragraph 3, okay, so are you in paragraph 3? Because that's what they're asking you to look at. It says, read the sentence from paragraph 3. Okay, and the sentence shows that Sarita was eager to get to the park, but she knew that Mr. Pacheco was lonely. Okay, so when you look at that particular sentence in paragraph 3, she's eager to get to the park. She wants to get there, but she knows Mr. Pacheco is lonely. That shows that she is what? Does it show she's selfish?
No.
No, she wants to go to the park, but she's like, no, I'm not going to do that because my neighbor's lonely. So, is she bored?
No.
Okay, what do you think? What's the answer? She's what?
Kind.
She's kind because after paragraph 3, I like how you read on. After paragraph 3, she actually does stay with him. So it does show that she's kind. Very good.
Mr. Pacheco better. She wanted to excuse to get out of the house.
So where did you find your answer?
Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5. Can you kind of straighten your paper a little bit, Daisy? Look at this one. Oh, thank you.
Alrighty.
Mr. Pacheco listened and Sarita poured out her longing to learn how to play baseball so that she could make friends.
Very good. That's exactly the answers right there in the text. Mr. Pacheco listened as Sarita poured out her longing to learn how to play baseball so that she could make friends. Excellent. Right there in the text. Good job. Okay. Honestly.
Pacheco happens to see Sarita? A. He wants to teach her about baseball. B. He needs help onto the porch. C. He has vegetables for her mother. Or D. He wants her to garden with him.
Okay. I love how your paper is so marked up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, lots of strategies and annotations. Good for you.
Sriracha, it's beautiful on here. I think you have been in the sun too long without a hat. I feel a little dizzy. Can you help me to the porch?
Very good. Okay, so the answer was right there in the text. And the answer is what letter? B. Okay, so right there in his dialogue, he says, I need help. I'm glad you're here. I've been out in the sun too long. Can you help me to the porch? Good job on that.
Good job.
Okay, guys, now I want you to share with your neighbor. Okay, so look at the other answer questions and share.
Alrighty, you guys, let's take a break. You've been working hard. Put your papers away, or put them in your notebook. Stand up.
Class, back up the bag. Going on a field trip. This is going to be the most awesome field trip ever! Run!
Are we there yet?
Not far now! Look out! Keep going! Don't crash into it! Switch it up! Ride the horse! Yellow! Run! Switch it up! Speed! Swoosh! Run!
We got to. Oh, we got to. Keep running.
explain to me.
Oh. Okay, the eyeball. You'll see with your brain, you see with your brain, not your eye. The eyeball sees light and sends a message to your brain to tell you what you are looking at. So what do you see with?
Your eye.
People.
What do you see with?
The brain.
The brain. Not the eyes.
Ah.
Gee whiz. The black dot in the center of your eye is called the pupil. It changes size depending on the amount of light around you. What makes the size of your pupil change?
The
light.
The amount of light in your eye. So if you go outside, is your pupil going to be larger or smaller?
Smaller.
Smaller, because it's more light in your eye. So, good. The average blink lasts 1/10 of a second. You blink about 12 times a minute. What do you think of that? Any thoughts? 12 times a minute.
No, I think every 1 second.
Every 1 second, then you're blinking all the time. You're looking like this if you're blinking every second. You're never, huh? You never stop blinking. It's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open.
No,
Go ahead, try it. Try it. It's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. That wasn't a real sneeze. If you're really sneezing, it is impossible. Try it. You guys are going to try it. If you're really sneezing, it is impossible to keep your eyes open.
You can do it. Shoot.
That's not a real sneeze. And you're holding your eyes open. Just a few facts. The muscle that controls your eyes is the fastest and busiest muscle in your whole entire body. Wow, I didn't know that.
I did.
The muscle that controls your eyes is the fastest and busiest. I did not know
And
that.
that's the strongest.
I guess because your eyes are always moving.
That is the
Maybe
truth.
that's it.
Your
Okay.
eye is strongest in your body.
I didn't know that.
Your fist is strongest in your body. You got hands.
Your fist isn't a muscle.
I know.
The
You
fist
got
is a
bones.
Yeah, you do. You do. Your fist is
Abs. What?
That's not your abs aren't your fastest muscle in your body.
That's
No.
The world's most common eye color is brown.
What?
That's
Yeah,
right.
I got money.
Huh?
I got brown.
Huh?
I got brown.
Yeah.
green.
I think, does anyone have a different eye color in here?
I do.
No.
I think
I
we're
got
all-
black. I got pink.
Yes, it. I got
Pink eye, lovely. Get out. If you got pink eye, get out. So the most common eye color is brown, and I think everyone in here.
No, I know.
Yeah, everybody
Give me some
brown.
color blue.
It just,
They're
it
brown.
just.
They're kind of light brown. Yeah.
I got black. I got orange, yellow, blue, red, purple. I'm giving some blue.
All right, guys, listen up. Is that it? Oh, see, that's it. That's it. So tell me what you guys learned about the eye. One fact about the eye. What?
That's the brown. It's the fast muscle.
What is?
It's too
The
hard
eye.
to
The eye. Okay.
Your
What's another fact?
It's too hard to sneeze and not closing the eye.
It's impossible to sneeze and not close your eyes.
It's not. If you you blank in 12. I mean, you blank 12 times and one. I mean, 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
What's up?
Is the strongest muscle?
Yeah, I think because they're moving all the time. Busiest and fastest muscle. Not
Your
strong, but
eye
yeah,
is
isn't it?
your eye has smaller pupils.
Depending on what?
The light.
Depending on how much light your eyes get. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Sun.
What?
Like the sun.
Like the sun. You're right. Okay. Nice.
All right, great job, guys.
Oh, we're trying to
That's
stop.
another picture.
Class, active.
Okay.
Is that it?
Thank you. That is it.
I want my teacher.
Yeah.
I want to do my teacher again.
Thank you. You know what?
It's almost time to go.
Time to
Are we
go.
just-
I'm a nerd.
Okay, so I'm back from having visited both classrooms in their use of technology. It was very interesting to see how both teachers incorporated the use of technology to help their students. Let me give you a recap of the classrooms that I just came out of. I observed 2 different classrooms. These were summer school classrooms, and the purpose of the summer school was to help students who were taking their 3rd attempt of the STAR test to pass. They didn't pass their first 2 attempts. The summer school was guided toward getting the students used to using their strategies to increase the likelihood of answering questions correctly in order so that they can pass on to the 6th grade. It was about 10 students in each class. And yeah, I've had a chance to rewatch the videos, and so now I'm in the reflection phase, and I'll be using the Gibbs reflective cycle in order to, basically just process my observations in the videos that I saw. I'm supposed to reflect on the strategies and the technologies that I observed the teachers using to engage the students. Okay, so like I said, I observed 2 teachers facilitating the use of technology in their classrooms to actively engage students in learning. This learning experience provided me the opportunity to see what strategies the teachers use to keep students on task and enhance the learning experience. In the first classroom, the teacher used document cameras to display reading passages and score corresponding questions as she modeled using strategies to find the correct answer. I like this use of the document camera because all students were engaged. All students sat attentively watching and listening as they followed along on the paper in front of them. So basically the teacher had her copy of the document camera, her copy of the assignment that they were working on flat in the document camera, and the students had a copy in front of them, so they were able to follow along. The only difference was that hers was displayed up here, and they can see exactly how she was modeling the use of strategies in order to answer questions correctly, and the students were expected to do the same thing. As I continued to observe, it was easy to see why the teacher used this form of technology, as students were able to see what the teacher was doing from their own chair by looking at a clear and vivid image of the teacher's paper shown on the projector screen. And you can also see that in the video in front of them. Additionally, the teacher allowed each student to come up to the document camera and share their answers to a question from the passage as they walked their classmates through the strategies they used to find their answer. So the teacher modeled it for the students, and each student was required to answer one question on the document camera, using the document camera. And it kind of held the student accountable. So I really like that because once they were up there, it was a no cop-out type of deal. Basically, while you're up there explaining whether you got the answer right or wrong, you're in front of your peers. And really, the kids were really comfortable with using a document camera and with showing their answers displayed on a projector screen in front of their peers, because whether they got it right or wrong, basically the teacher and their peers were able to see their train of thought and how they were thinking through the question in order to gain their answer. This form of technology is appropriate, in my opinion, as the students are able to share answers by looking up at a screen to see information displayed by their peers and their teacher. Furthermore, I observed that while the teacher or students were sharing their responses, other students were just sitting there quietly waiting on their turn. So, although the students were respectful of the speaker and the person that was using the document camera, they were basically just sitting there. So, I kind of thought that maybe that would be boring. As a principal, observing from an administrative standpoint, I would think that that's kind of boring. Especially, it's like really repetitive, maybe for a few questions, but not for all of the students to just be sitting there while one person is talking. You don't know if they're following along. You don't know if they got the question that the person up there using the screen got it right or wrong or what. So I would just... I'll offer a suggestion after I get through my description. This could easily become a boring and less engaging process if there were more students waiting to have a turn on the document camera. I also observed that one student was responsible for sharing per question, which makes it less likely for the teacher to know if students other than the one up there sharing on a document camera has the correct response. My suggestion for this teacher would be to increase student engagement by using student response clickers. I think that although the document camera was a good use because all the students were able to have a turn, I just really did not like the fact, or it just really wasn't the best practice that the other students were just sitting there kind of like following along. You don't know if they got their question right or wrong. And me as a teacher, I would want to know who all got that particular question right. I wouldn't want to wait for one student to explain and then reveal the answer, and then the kids that's just sitting there at their desk waiting on their turn to just say, oh, that is the answer, let me change it. I want to see everybody's thinking at once. So my suggestion for this teacher would be to use response clickers. I think that it's more engaging. You can even use you can even make it a competition. I observed I went to a training earlier this week through Dallas ISD, and I liked how the presenter said that we can boost discussion, and the use of technology through this program called Kahoot. And basically, Kahoot is it's like a trivia style engagement thing, and basically the students try to be first to answer the question, and you earn points. And I think that that's very engagement. Is friendly competition. It'll motivate students to answer their own questions. You cannot cheat off anybody's answer. You cannot help and change your answer. Everybody's answering all together, and it does not move on to the correct answer until everybody has answered. So I really like that, and I think that this classroom would have benefited by using something like response clickers or the system called Kahoot, where all the students are able to participate by clicking in their answer, and the teacher can see everybody's response, and she doesn't have to risk somebody changing their answer like that. And then you can use a document camera and have one student or a couple of students share how they got that answer. But I just don't think that it's that good of a practice to have that one student up there sharing their answer, because it'll increase the likelihood of students changing their answers, and that's not the route we want to go, because they won't really help the students. Let's see what else here. So through the method of the use of response clickers, students are shown a question and answer choices using a document camera, and then they can select their choice using a clicker. This will enable all students to be engaged and will hold all students accountable for sharing their responses to each question. And this will also allow the teacher a quick method of gathering data. And so I know that my district, we actually have invested in response clickers. So I'm just curious as to why this teacher did not opt to use the clickers through the all-in learning system. It's a really simple system. All you have to do is log in your students' names, and it would have been easier for her to do because she only had 10 students in her class. Assign them a clicker, go through the questions like that, have all of the students answer, and then you get a data sheet about who knows what, or who understands what particular concept and who does not. And then you can move on to a discussion using the document camera about how y'all came up with the answers. So that would be my suggestion for the first teacher. Okay? In the second classroom, as students were wrapping up an assignment, the teacher used an online website and the projector to give students what you call a brain break from doing their work. So basically, a brain break is just giving the students a break from thinking. So you're basically just like redirecting their attention to something else. Especially if the students have been focused on their work and they've been working hard, you want to give them a break, or you want to celebrate them. You don't want to just make it like really monotonous and tedious and them doing the same task over and over, paper and pencil. Nah, So this teacher decided to use or incorporate or integrate technology through the use of a brain break using a website, and I thought that this was a genius idea. The website that she used was called Go Noodle, and Go Noodle is used to engage students in fun activities. Okay, so if you get a chance, go ahead and explore Go Noodle. You know, I think that that was a great incorporation of technology in that classroom. So the fun activities include dancing. What kid doesn't like to dance? Singing, playing games, and taking virtual field trips to funny places. And so I think that that's a wonderful resource. Go Noodle is a wonderful resource, especially with the virtual field trips, because they're very engaging. They draw the student in. Even if you're in the classroom, you can go anywhere, and I mean literally anywhere. Like, I've seen teachers use Go Noodle to take a field trip to an eyeball or to an ear or to a knee or to an armpit. Like, it's crazy like that. Check it out. Let's see. I observed the teacher engaging the students in this summer school class by taking them on a virtual field trip, and students had to physically move in place while following the commands on the screen to get to the field trip destination. So even though, like in my video, you can see a part of the screen, the way that I had angled my camera, it wasn't the best, but you kind of still can get the idea of what's going on there. You can see a part of the screen, and you can see, the movement. You can also hear the commands and hear where the students are going, what's going on, and you can also see the students physically moving. So I know that the video was not shot from the best angle, but you can see me there taking notes and everything like that. And yeah, it's pretty engagement. In the video, you can see the kids physically moving. Additionally, once students arrived to their destination, they took their seat and learned more about their destination through explanation while following the visuals displayed from the projector. And so, like I said, the students in this class, they were basically practicing for their third attempt at the STAR test, and they had been practicing for about 2 hours straight. They had like a water break, restroom break, but their brain had been so focused, like the other class, the first classroom I showed you. They were really focused on what they were doing, and these kids really wanted to pass. So the teachers had their full attention from the time they walked into the class to the time that they left. So I love the way that the teacher redirected their thinking. She gave them a break from what they were learning, and basically, focused them on something else. Basically just gave them a break, took their mind off onto something else, and it was fun. As you can see in the video, the kids are actually doing everything that's on the screen, and I just love that aspect. This form of technology was appropriate as it provided students a break from using paper and pencils and engaged students kinesthetically through on-screen prompts and music. So I just absolutely love everything about the Go Noodle website. My only suggestion for improvement for the teacher, because I loved everything that she did, will be to have the students choose the virtual field trip destination. When I set up the video, and before I started observing her, I noticed that the kids were working on their work, and the teacher, she knew that I was coming in, so as soon as I walked in, she just went straight to the computer and chose an activity for the students. They really did not get to choose where they wanted to go, and I think she could have made it a little fun. She could have had them vote on where they wanted to visit, but that's beside the point. I just love the way that she used the technology. She used a website. She used her projector. The speakers, of course, projected what was going on the computer. I just love the whole thing that she used. So like I said, I would suggest that this teacher have students choose the virtual field trip destination, and also have them read the fun facts that they learn, once they arrive at the destination. The teacher was doing mostly all of the talking, and like she would read the fun fact about the virtual field trip destination, and then she'll ask the students a question, but like the kids weren't really that engaged on that part. You know what I mean? They were just listening to her talk. And so I would have the students read the fun facts that they learn versus the teacher reading them. Also, I think that's about it. I think both teachers incorporated technology pretty well, even though according to the technology integration matrix, and looking at the table of instructional selling descriptors, even though they both mostly score under entry and adoption. And entry is the teacher uses technology to deliver curriculum content to students. That's what they did. In adoption, the teacher directs students in the conventional use of tool-based software. If software is available, this level is the recommended entry point. So, like, they were basically under adoption. Neither one of the classrooms moved to the transformation side of the matrix. And transformation is basically the teacher creates a rich learning environment in which students regularly engage in activities that would have been impossible to achieve without technology. Yeah, this is summer school. The kids were focusing on passing their third attempt. And so really, from an administrative standpoint, and if this were the regular school year, and if I was conducting a walkthrough, a spot observation, and technology was being used, of course I would want them to perform under all of the characteristics of the learning environment in the transformation domain. But being as though it was summer school, I feel like the use of technology was appropriate, and regardless of them not falling in transformation, they did place on the scale. So, yeah, that's basically it. As a future administrator, I would hope that the teachers that I observe would be using technology much in the same way to meet their learning objectives. If they're not, we would definitely be having a discussion about how to incorporate technology. I think that we're living in the digital age now where everything is, there are all sorts of forms of technology, and the students do have access through it. I will make sure that my students will have access to it. I'm recording this video on my phone. So like I said, technology is everywhere. The use of it is wonderful, especially for learning, and we're raising students in a digital age. And so they're well versed in the use of technology. So I say give it to them. It will enhance what they're learning. This is Iman Thompson, and I had a wonderful learning experience. It yielded to be very insightful to me in teachers' use of technology.